Hey, what to do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about Roll Tide, baby. Yes, sir. You know what Alabama did yesterday? They went into the game and they basically dominated the LSU Tigers in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yes, sir, baby. Hey, man, make sure y'all may hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. All right, before I get started. But listen, let's go ahead and jump into what happened yesterday when the Alabama Crimson Tide met against the LSU Tigers in what could ultimately decide the SEC West. Alabama went into the game at 7-1. Now they're 8-1. LSU came in at 6-2, and now they are 6-3. After yesterday's game, Alabama won the game 42-28. This right here was a battle against one of the best offenses in the nation against one of the best defenses in the nation. Okay, and ultimately the defense prevailed. Okay, Alabama came into the game. LSU, I mean, don't get me wrong, LSU played a really good game. LSU came out, they hit them quick with Malik Neighbors, a 46-yard touchdown by Jaden Daniels. I said, man, listen, oh man, it might get ugly. But then Alabama, Jalen Milroe. They did something yesterday with Jalen Milroe that I've been asking them to do for the longest, and that is run him a little bit more. That is exactly what they did yesterday. They ran Jalen Milroe a little bit. Jalen Milroe ran a 23-yard touchdown. Then Alabama got the ball back. He went for a 4-yard touchdown. And that's what Alabama said, okay, this team right here, Alabama, they probably going to be all right. But then LSU came back. Jaden Daniels, he pretty much carried them again. He went for a 9-yard touchdown. But then Jalen Milroe came back again and hit him for a long touchdown, a 21-yarder. And then Alabama went up 21-14. Then I said, man, listen, they need to run out of bounds, run the time out. But they gave Jaden Daniels too much time, and Jaden Daniels pretty much took it down there in like a minute. And then he threw a 26-yard touchdown, and they pretty much tied the game up, went into halftime. It was 21-21. I said, listen, LSU getting the ball back after halftime. Jaden Daniels, he was having a really good game at the half. Then he came back out, and what did LSU do? They went down the field. They scored so quick. I'm talking about 3-minute drive. They went down there. They scored. Now they're up 28-21. But guess what? Alabama came back. Roydell Williams, a 16-yard touchdown to tie the game at 28. And then Alabama did not look back. Then Jalen Milroe, 11-yard touchdown. They go up 35-28. They got an interception. They ran that. You know, Jace McClellan, he took it in. Now Alabama is up 42-28. What happened to LSU? The worst thing that could possibly happen. Yes, Dallas Turner ended up hitting Jaden Daniels, and then he ended up going out of the game with a concussion. Now, a lot of people say that was a dirty hit. A lot of people say that was a targeting. Now, listen, this is what I don't get. First of all, it wasn't a target because he didn't lead with his helmet. But you know what? They got all types of rules now where they want to protect the quarterback and say you can't fall on them, you can't do this. Basically, you have to just lay them on the ground like a little baby, lay them on the ground like you laying a baby in a baby carriage. You got to make sure that you don't let them hit their head. You got to make sure that they don't hit the ground hard. So maybe it was targeting, if you think about it, because he did drive him into the ground. I don't think he tried to do it, but, you know, it just happened. But I will say this. After he went out the game, I knew it was over with. I said, yeah, it's over with. They brought him back in the game only for him to go. And you could tell it was a concussion because he didn't really know where he was at. Now, that right there is where I'm questioning Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly, what are you doing down there? And the one thing that Brian Kelly did in this game is that he criticized this quarterback play. This is the issue that I got with Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly never wants to take accountability. He never wants to take accountability. He basically blamed his quarterback. He said that the medical staff cleared him initially, and they looked at him again and felt like he wasn't prepared to go back into the game. We all knew that Jaden Daniels wasn't supposed to be out there when he walked back out there, when they let him walk back out there after that play. Because That is how they ended up had to call a timeout because he didn't even know where he was at. But this is the issue that I got with Brian Kelly, is that basically he said his quarterback didn't play good. Now let's look at the stats for Jaden Daniels. Now he did throw one pick. The man had 11 carries for 163 yards. Nobody else on the team had 30 yards rushing. And he had one rushing touchdown. He was 15 for 24 for 219 yards and one touchdown. And he also had one pick. But that pick was basically a tip pass. So I can't even really say that was him. Malik Neighbor was his favorite target. He had 10 catches, 171 yards, and one touchdown. Nobody else had 40 yards receiving. Now, and Jaden Daniels was sacked one time. Let's talk about Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe was 15 for 23. They both had the same amount of passing yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. But he had 20 carries, 155 yards, and 4 touchdowns. If Jaden Daniels win this game, he's probably in the Heisman Trophy race. Just being honest with you. Because, hell, his stats, to be honest, his stats look just like Jalen Milroe. So I don't know what Brian Kelly is talking about that he had a bad game. If anything, your defense had they had a terrible game, just like they've been terrible all season. That is the reason why this team right here isn't better than what they are. They are the reason why this team have 3 losses. They are the reason. I'm gonna say that losing the first game of the year, losing that game to Florida State, okay, that can be both. That can be both. But losing to Ole Miss, that was clearly on the defense. Losing this game right here was clearly on the defense and bad coaching. Because I'm gonna tell y'all why. Do y'all remember when it was like 4th down and 1, and they went for it when they should have just punted it, gave Alabama the ball maybe, at the 20, 15, 10. You never know. They went for it and gave Alabama the ball like at the 40, 45-yard line. So clearly, bad coaching. This is the problem that I got with a lot of these coaches. The Lane Kiffins and the Brian Kellys, the Jimbo Fishers, is that they give the ball to Alabama with momentum. So all Alabama got to do is just continue to just drive. Instead of putting your defense on the field with some good field position, you give Alabama the ball with your defense against the back, with knowing that your defense backs are against the wall, and also you know that your defense is already playing bad. So why do that? I don't understand it. And the first thing that Brian Kelly do is he throw his quarterback under the bus, because that's what Brian Kelly do. He ain't taking no accountability. It ain't got nothing to do with him. He's just the coach. It got nothing to do with me. It's the players. They're not executing the game plan. And that's why I don't know if players don't want to come and play for him, because of the way he throws his players under the bus. Brian Kelly, you supposed to take accountability about letting your quarterback come back into the game knowing damn well that he had a concussion. We all knew he had a concussion on TV, and you gonna tell me you standing right there with him and you didn't know? And the first thing you do is you throw him up under the bus and say that Jaden Daniels didn't play good. Hell, Jaden Daniels in a lot of games, like that game yesterday, would have been a win if your defense just play a little bit better. If your defense just play a little bit better, y'all win that game yesterday. But because you and your defensive coordinator has been fucking terrible all season, that is the reason why this team lost that game. And the first thing you do is you blame quarterback. your star quarterback. I ain't gonna even lie. I got to give Jaden Daniels. I got to give him credit. When he came from Arizona State, I did not expect to see this guy. But this kid right here has gotten better and better every season. He's gotten better and better. His passing has gotten better. They even said that this kid right here could be even in a first-round draft pick. He can run. He can throw. I ain't gonna even lie. Jaden Daniels is a really good quarterback. And for him to throw his quarterback under the bus like that, I don't understand. But let's talk about Roll Tide, Alabama. The Tide. Smoke them if you got it. Like Nick Saban say. Nick Saban, this right here has been a masterful coaching job that he's done. He benched Jalen Milroe. Now Jalen Milroe has turned into, sometimes his quarterbacking skills is a little suspect. But yesterday was a masterclass. And I'm happy that Tommy Rees allowed him to do what he did yesterday. They almost had 300-yard rushing and 6 touchdowns. That's the Alabama that I'm used to watching. Even though Isaiah Bond had a hell of a game, but I will say this right here. Isaiah Bond was wide open for a touchdown. He could have walked in and Jalen Milroe threw it in the stand. Now, that's something that got me worried. But as you all know, that the Tide is getting ready this week as they go down to Lexington, Kentucky, to face the Kentucky Wildcats. If they can win this game right here, they will clinch the SEC West. And then they play against Chattanooga the next game at T-Town. And then it's Auburn, the Iron Bowl, down there in Auburn, Alabama, even though I think they're going to beat the brakes off of Auburn. But that is the game. This Alabama team right here, can this Alabama team beat Georgia? Yes. This Alabama team right here can beat Georgia. Georgia, don't get me wrong, Georgia's the cream of the crop. And I think that even if Georgia go into the SEC championship game and they lose against Alabama, they still should get in the college football playoff. I think them and Alabama should get in because these are two of the best teams in college football. Is Washington one of the best? Yeah, they are a good team. Are they a top 4 team? I don't know. I would say Oregon. I would take Oregon over. I'd take Washington, even though Oregon was defeated by Washington because of bad coaching. But when I look at these two teams, Georgia, Alabama, they are clearly two of the best teams. Ohio State, they are okay. They did beat Notre Dame. Yep. But hell, Notre Dame just lost to Clemson. So how good is Notre Dame? So when I look at Michigan ain't playing nobody all season. Hell, I don't think they played a ranked team all season. I think this week right here is going to be their first time playing a ranked team all season. You see? So this weekend, Georgia do go to Tennessee. Washington goes to Oregon State. I think they'll beat the brakes off Oregon State. I said, hold on. Do Michigan? I lied. Michigan play Maryland this week, so another bad team. Maybe that's next. Let's see. Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. Yes, this week. Yeah, Michigan this week will travel to Penn State. So I get a chance, and I at least get a chance to see how good this Michigan team is. I just don't know. But I can tell you this right here. Alabama is tied. I expect for them to go to the SEC championship, and I expect for them to meet Georgia. And I expect for them to upset Georgia. I do. I really do. But like I said, Alabama goes into Alabama played yesterday against LSU, and they beat LSU 42-28. The number 8 Crimson Tide, I expect for them to improve on that ranking as they beat the number 14 LSU Tigers in a SEC West showdown, 42-28. Hey, man, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, y'all, peace, and y'all thanks for the support. And hey, we're going to keep on bringing this thing to you. Roll Tide! Thank y'all again.